Hi there, welcome to today's class. Today we'll be doing a full body yoga routine just to really get our bodies moving and really stretch out our muscles, as well as there will be some poses with some extra challenging variations for those of you who would want them. So to begin, we're going to start off in a seated position with our legs crossed, hands on either on our knees or our laps, eyes closed. And we're just going to take a few minutes just to settle in, to clear our minds, and bring our focus to our breath. Just taking some nice, deep, calming breaths. Breathing in through the nose. And then relaxing as you breathe out, either through the nose or the mouth. Maybe taking notice of any tension you might be feeling in your shoulders, in your neck. Just taking note and just relaxing a little bit more. And keeping your eyes still closed, you're going to let your head fall over to the left side of your shoulder. Bring your left ear to left shoulder. And then with your right hand, you can just stretch it out as far to the right as you can, with your fingertips just barely above the mat. Bring your head back to center. You can drop your right ear to your right shoulder, and with your left hand reaching out to the left, you should get a nice little stretch going on in your neck. Right, bring everything back to center. Now bring your left hand now to your right knee and your right hand just behind your back. As you twist and pull your right shoulder as far back as you can, and if your neck maybe feels 5 foot, you can see if you can twist it and gaze behind you over your shoulder. Then untwisting yourself, and move over to the other side. So right hand on left knee, left hand just behind your back, and really twisting and pulling that left shoulder as far back as you can, and turning your head to gaze over behind you. Twisting back to center. We then interlace our fingers and place them just behind our head with our elbows open out to the side. And then as we take a breath in, we're going to open our elbows as far back as we can as we lift our head up. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your elbows close together, bringing your chin to chest. Breathing in to open up. And exhale to close. Going through 2 more rounds at your own pace. Remembering to link your movements with your breath. And on your last round, you can release your hands And you're going to come to straighten out both your legs as you begin by hovering them up. You're just slowly going to gain your balance on your lower back. As you raise your legs, bring your hands in line with them as we come into a boat pose. From here, you really want to focus on keeping your shoulders and your backs, your shoulders pulled back and your back nice and straight. So you hold your full breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to lower your legs and back as close to the floor as you can before coming back up. Take a breath in to lower. Exhale to come up. And one last time, inhale to lower. And then as you exhale coming up, you're going to roll over your feet. You're going to come meet me in a tabletop. And from here, we're just going to go into some circular motions over our wrists, just to get some warmth and movement going. As we move in the one direction, before changing over in the other. And then tucking your toes, you're going to begin by hovering your knees a few centimeters just off the mat. I'm just going to hold here for 3 full breaths, really engaging our core, feeling our hands and our feet grip onto the mat. Feeling the heat build in our bodies, in our wrists, and our legs. And then we're going to start by swaying our hips from side to side, knocking our knees in the opposite direction. You can start off small, but you can start going deeper and deeper as you lower your hips almost to the ground. And if you want to go bring this thing a little bit further, you can start by kicking your left leg. You bring left leg out, come back to center, and then kick the right leg. Just go in this motion, getting a nice full body warm up. And then when you've done it on each side one last time, you can come meet me back in your floating tabletop. If you hold here for one more breath in, and then as you exhale, lifting your hips up as you push your back into your first downward facing dog. When we're down dog, you can start by pedaling your dog out, bending one leg at a time, getting some nice stretches in the backs of your legs. Then coming back to stillness, we're going to start by walking our feet towards the top of the mat, come into a forward fold, and ever so slowly coming up to stand up in our Tadasana mountain pose. And starting with your right leg, you're going to step back into a high lunge, raising your hands above your head, and then cactusing your arms out to the side, giving yourself a nice little gentle back. And straightening up. Twist yourself down to the right as you drop your back heel as we come into a warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, making sure to pull our shoulders as far back as we can as we gaze over our front fingers. And flipping your front palm, throwing it over your head to reverse our warrior. Then coming back into your warrior 2, place your left elbow onto your front knee. With your back hand, you're going to bring it down, grazing the mat before lifting it up and over our head. as we come into an extended side angle. From here, you can either choose to stay in as is, or you have the option to take a bind. So you bring your right hand behind your back, and with your left hand coming down between your legs, seeing if you can reach back to grab your hand. And then you release your bind if you're in it. You can bring your right hand over down to the mat next to your left foot, and with your left hand reaching up for the sky as we come into a twist. You can bring your left hand down to the mat, kicking your legs back together to come into a high plank as we hold here for a breath in. And as you exhale, you have the option to either drop your knees or you can keep them straight as is as you chaturanga down. And on your inhale, keeping your hands below your shoulders, pushing your chest up as we come into a cobra. And then exhaling, tucking your toes as we come back into our downward dog. You can walk your feet back to the top of the mat. Inhale to slowly roll up into our standing pose. And then stepping back with your left foot now as you come into our high lunge. Hands above your head. Before cactusing out to the side and gently leaning back. Straightening up. Then turn to our left side as we come into our warrior two. Making sure to have a nice straight line from our back fingers all the way to the front. Then flipping your front palm, throwing it over your head to reverse your warrior. As we just rest our backhand on our back leg. Moving back into the warrior two, bringing your right elbow to knee, and with your left hand, bring it down to graze the mat like you're pushing your fingers to grass. And then before raising and opening your chest up to the left for your extended angle. And if you're on the other side, you have the option once more to come into your bind. And then releasing your bind, bringing left hand down to the mat, and raising your right hand up to come into your twist. Bringing right hand down, kicking back into your plank, and once more holding here for a nice deep breath in, and exhale to slowly roll lower down in a nice controlled fashion. Inhale to come up into your back cobra, or if you're feeling strong, you can lift your thighs off the mat for your upward dog. Before exhaling, tucking your toes to come into your downward facing dog. Then you're down dog, you can walk your feet back to the top of the mat one more time. And here we can just hold and pause for a few breaths. Maybe just sway our bodies from side to side. You can even grab your elbows as you come into a ragdoll. Releasing your elbows, taking a breath in as we lift our chest up halfway, spine nice and straight. Before exhaling, folding forward and grabbing the backs of your legs, you just pull your chest a little bit closer to your knees before releasing and relaxing. And then ever so slowly, you're going to start rolling back up. Change your chest as we roll up one vertebra at a time. Before we come up to our full standing, rolling our shoulders back, palms facing forward for our Tadasana. Just standing here for a breath, really feeling your feet gripping into the mat. And then moving on to our balancing poses, we're going to go into a tree. So bringing your hands to heart center, you have a few options on what you want to choose. You can either start by placing your right foot onto your left ankle, or if you're feeling stable enough, you can raise your foot a little bit higher, just bringing your foot just below your knee. And if you're feeling strong, you can bring it all the way up, so your right toes are just above your left knee. And for those of us who are looking for a little bit of an extra challenge, you can start by raising your hands up above your head. And if you still got your balance, maybe lifting your head to gaze beyond your fingers. Just holding here for another breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your hands back down and lowering your foot. You can move on to the other side, so right foot grounded, starting with your left foot onto your right ankle. If you're feeling fine, raising it up just below your knee. Otherwise, bring it all the way up, coming into your full tree pose. And once more, if you want a challenge, hands above your head and gazing up. Holding for one more breath before bringing everything back down. And then meet me laying on your stomachs. And you're gonna bring your elbows just below your shoulders as we lift our chest up, lifting our chin as high as we can, coming into a Sphinx pose. Just really feeling a nice little release going on in our upper and lower backs. And bringing our chest and our head all back down to the mat, we're going to have our hands lay by our sides. We're going to go into a locust pose. So on your next breath in, you're going to lift your legs and your chest, raising your hands. We're having your hands reach as far back as you can. If you want to, you can even clasp your hands together. As we just hold this pose for 3 full breaths, really engaging our glutes and our back muscles to hold us up. As we hold in for another breath in, breathe out, and one last breath in. And then as you exhale, you can relax, bringing everything back down. And finally, we're going to end the practice as we push ourselves back into a child's pose. You can either have your hands by your sides or extended out in front of you. You just rest your forehead down to the mat. You take some nice steady breaths, slowing your heart rate. And then keeping your eyes still closed, you can walk yourself up, coming into a seated position on your knees. If it's a little bit too much, you can come on into a cross-legged position. As we just take a minute just to reflect, notice how we're feeling, keeping a nice steady breath. And we just take a moment just to give ourselves some appreciation, give ourselves a little pat on the back, making time for ourselves and looking after ourselves. And then when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open as we come to the end of our practice. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found some benefits. Hopefully something you can take home and incorporate into your daily practice. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything else I can do. And hope to see you once more next time on the yoga mat.